German philosopher Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel once said, either you are a Spinozist or you're not a philosopher at all. Think about it. Why would someone say such a thing about one man? Today, we are going to talk about a person who was cast out of society during his lifetime, whose books were condemned, and who was called a maker of hell. That man was Baruch Spinoza. Spinoza was one of the most influential and revolutionary philosophers of the 17th century. His ideas were so powerful that many argue modern science and democracy stand upon foundations he helped build. From Albert Einstein to Hegel, great thinkers found profound truths in Spinoza's philosophy. But who exactly was Spinoza? Why was he cursed and excommunicated? In this detailed video, we will explore the fascinating life and ideas of Baruch Spinoza. 2. Childhood and historical background. Spinoza was born in Amsterdam in 1632. His family belonged to the Sephardic Jewish community and had fled Portugal to escape religious persecution. Although Amsterdam was considered a center of intellectual freedom, religious authority still held considerable power. His father, Miguel de Spinoza, was involved in the dried fruit import business. As a child, Spinoza became highly knowledgeable in the Hebrew Bible and Jewish religious teachings. However, as he grew older, he began to question many accepted beliefs. He learned Latin and became fascinated by the philosophy of René Descartes. This passion for reason and scientific inquiry gradually led him away from traditional religious doctrine. 3. The terrifying curse, the cherem. In 1656, when Spinoza was only 23 years old, the Jewish community of Amsterdam issued a cherem, the most severe form of excommunication, against him because of his radical ideas. The declaration read, "May he be cursed by day and cursed by night. May he be cursed when he lies down and cursed when he rises up." People were instructed not to speak to him, not to associate with him, and not even to read his writings. Why such a harsh punishment? Because Spinoza denied the immortality of the soul, questioned the divine origin of the Bible, and argued that God and nature were essentially the same reality. This became one of the most severe excommunications in history. Yet Spinoza remained remarkably calm. Rather than retreating, he embraced his path with courage, believing that the pursuit of truth was worth any personal sacrifice. 4. God and nature. Deus sive natura, 12 o'clock to 17 o'clock. After his excommunication, Spinoza earned a living by polishing optical lenses. While leading this modest life, he worked on what would become his masterpiece, ethics. At the center of his philosophy was the Latin phrase Deus sive natura, meaning God or nature. According to Spinoza, God is not a supernatural being sitting outside the universe and controlling it. Instead, God is identical with the totality of existence itself. Everything in the universe, its laws, structures, and processes, is an expression of God. God and nature are not separate realities. For this reason, Spinoza rejected miracles. He believed that everything happens according to the necessary and unbreakable laws of nature. This idea became one of the most influential expressions of pantheism, the belief that God is present in and identical with the universe. 5. Ethics and the Geometric Method, 1700 to 2200. Spinoza wrote ethics using what he called the geometric method. Inspired by Euclid's geometry, he began with definitions and axioms, then logically derived hundreds of propositions and conclusions. He approached human emotions with remarkable scientific precision. According to Spinoza, people become slaves when they are controlled by their emotions. True freedom comes when we understand through reason why things happen. Among the many human emotions he analyzed, 3 were fundamental: joy, sadness, desire. For Spinoza, understanding the world through reason was not merely an intellectual exercise, it was the highest form of spiritual fulfillment. He called this amor de intellectualis, or the intellectual love of God. 6. Politics and Democracy, Tractatus Theologico-Politicus. In 1670, Spinoza anonymously published Tractatus Theologico-Politicus. The book was a direct challenge to the religious and political authorities of his time. Spinoza argued that the primary purpose of the state should be to guarantee individual freedom, especially freedom of thought and expression. He was among the first thinkers to clearly separate theology from philosophy. He also regarded democracy as the best form of government because it reflects the collective will of the people. The book was immediately condemned and banned. Critics even described it as a book forged in hell. 7. Legacy and Albert Einstein. In 1677, at the age of just 44, Spinoza died. Many historians believe that years of polishing lenses exposed him to fine glass dust, which may have contributed to the illness that claimed his life. He died with little wealth and few possessions, leaving behind only manuscripts and ideas. Yet his influence became enormous. When Albert Einstein was once asked whether he believed in God, he famously replied, "I believe in Spinoza's God, who reveals himself in the orderly harmony of what exists." Einstein's concept of a cosmic religious feeling was deeply influenced by Spinoza's philosophy. Spinoza taught us that truth belongs to no religion, and that reason is humanity's path to freedom. Conclusion. Today we explored the extraordinary life of Baruch Spinoza, a man who was condemned in his own time, yet became one of history's greatest philosophers. His philosophy continues to remind us that humanity's greatest strength lies in reason, intellectual courage, and the freedom to think independently. What do you think about Spinoza's concept of God or his political philosophy? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching.